Now, let's throw back the speaking curtain and expose how a pro prepares, performs, and persists. Please welcome Dr. Sean Stevenson.
I was 12 years old when I first heard this song come onto the television. I'm sure you've heard it before, especially if you're an American. It goes something like this. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Anybody know what that is? What is it? Hail to the Chief. And when do they play Hail to the Chief? When the President of the United States walks out. Now, I'm 12 years old. I'm in my family living room. I'm watching the television. I see this man come out on stage. I see everybody jump to their feet, and they're going crazy, and I'm thinking, I gotta have that job. I gotta be the President of the United States of America. So I go into school. I start telling all my teachers, all my classmates, that I am going to be a future president of these very United States of America. Now, I'm just curious. Do you think they said, oh, yes, you are? Yes or no? No. What happens when we tell people our lofty goals? They do something like this. Ooh, sweetie. Pump the brakes, sweetie. I didn't care. I've never listened to my haters. I've never listened to my doubters. If I believed my haters, if I believed my doubters, well, let me tell you the biggest doubt that I ever had, that people ever had with me. When I was born, the doctors told my parents I would be dead within the first 24 hours of my life. I'm happy to report that 35 years later, all those doctors are dead. True story. And I am the only doctor that remains. So there I am, 12 years old, going up to all my classmates, to all my teachers, saying, I am going to become the President of the United States of America. And then I realized, okay, there's a lot you have to do to become President of the United States of America. First of all, you have to be 35. I was 12. I had some time. Got to do my research. First of all, you got to know a lot about economics, about geography, human relations. You got to know how to pay people off, right? I mean, oh, come on, you know it happens. Anyway, so you got to know the system, right? 12 years old, not listening to the doubters and the haters. Finally, the years go by. And I had to get some traction on my goals. Have you ever told somebody, oh, I'm going to write a best-selling book? And you've yet to write the outline? Raise your hand. Come on. You know who I'm talking about? Of course, no, you guys all have it together. I forgot. So, I'm telling everybody, years go by. I had to get some traction on my goals. Then, in college, I applied to work at the White House. Because I figured if I'm going to live there someday, maybe I should work there first. Right? And I remember the day the envelope came in the mail to tell me whether or not I'd been selected to work in the White House. It's like you get that piece of mail. Just by a raise of hands, I can see you. By a raise of hands, have you ever had a letter or a phone call change the course of your life? Just raise it up. Yeah, we all have. It's that moment where you're holding the envelope and you're like, I'm not the father, I'm not the father, I'm not the father. You know who you are. So I open up the letter. I hold it up to my nose. I am just breathing in the success. I'm just believing in it. And it says, congratulations, Sean Stevenson. You have been selected to work in the White House alongside of the President of the United States. Now, my heart is racing. I am so excited. First day on the job. I'm going to take you back to the White House. 1998. I am going up and down the halls. I am just so moved by the fact that I was stepping in to that 12-year-old boy's vision. I wasn't the president yet, but I was now in the White House working alongside of the president. I was looking at all the artwork and thinking about all the amazing men and women that have changed the course of history, that walked those halls, and I was thinking, gosh, this is so amazing. And there was one thing I loved about working at the White House. It was watching the president come home from being overseas. He would land Andrews Air Force Base with Air Force One. And then to get from the Air Force Base to the White House, he didn't show up like you and I. He didn't take a taxi. He didn't take a minivan or an SUV. He shows up in a helicopter in his backyard. We're talking about something the size of a school bus, and it's dark green with a bright white stripe on the top, and an American flag painted on the side, and a huge propeller that you can hear coming from miles. And I'm thinking, this would be so great to just be in the backyard and greet the President of the United States when he comes home from work. I mean, how special, how amazing, and what could go wrong with a helicopter landing next to you? Don't get ahead of me. So there I am. I'm looking at the schedules, and I see now is the time. My schedule lined up. I could be at the right place at the right time to see the President step out of Marine One. I took an envelope under my armpit so I looked very official. I put on my busy face. You guys know what your busy face is? Come on, it's like a mixture of I have diarrhea and constipation. Nobody wants to talk to you when you're doing the busy face, right? That's why we do it, don't we? So then I did my busy face. I get down to the hall. And I noticed no one's around. I could see the helicopter off in the distance. It's coming in. And no one's around, and the door is closed to the south lawn. And they didn't have those handicap-accessible buttons. You guys know the buttons I'm talking about? You press them and you open them. You know, you have a lot of stuff you're carrying. You're like, oh, how convenient. And you hit it with your butt. Not for you. And if I could take a moment. If I could take a moment and digress. You know the bigger stall in the bathroom? You know the larger stall? Not your dressing room. I see you. I know who you are. So there I am, south lawn entrance. The door is closed. I gotta get outside. Right? This 12-year-old boy inside of me is just jumping. He's so excited. So I'm looking at these doors, and I am like staring them down like Al Walker and his wife's pie. And I'm just like, you got nothing. You got nothing. I'm like a linebacker. I'm heading straight at it like linebackers. And I'm taking off. Boom, boom, bam, these doors fly open. I get outside. I was not expecting what was going to happen next. It was like a giant wall of wind slapped me in the face and threw me back into the White House. And I'm like, oh, no. And now I am huffing and I am puffing and I get outside. Have you ever achieved something and you think you made it and you start getting a little cocky? Maybe, right? And I'm outside and I'm thinking, oh, all those suckers inside, they're missing all this good stuff. And I see one tree off in the distance. It's moving at a different speed than all the other trees. So I investigate. I look a little closer. And I see 12 men in all black military fatigues. They're climbing down ropes and they're running at me with submachine guns. Well, I'm glad you think that's funny. And I look down on my chest and I see little red laser dots. Now, I don't know how perceptually aware you are here, but I can't run, okay? But something in me that day just took off. I looked at the helicopter, I looked at the emergency response team barreling down on me, and I took off. Ah! Ah! And the helicopter is landing. The President of the United States steps out, and he looks at me. And that's when I had a major revelation about my life. You better have a vision for what you want. You better have a vision for what you want your life to look like. I mean, we're all teaching amazing things in this room, but are we applying our own teachings? And it feels so overwhelming as a speaker, and I'm right here with you. I've been doing this for 17 years. And sometimes we feel like hypocrites, don't we? We're fitness speakers and we're shoving Krispy Kremes in when no one's looking. We're financial people that are dealing with some debt that we don't want to talk about. We're humorists that aren't funny, right? Right? I'm just saying, right? And we have all these concerns that we're dealing with, and we're teaching. I mean, think about it. You are paid for your opinion. You are paid to speak. The whole world speaks, but you get paid to do it. How special. But I'm here to pop some NSA bubbles. You may have seen me for the last 14 years, in the hallways at your breakouts, but this is my time to pop some bubbles. First of all, you don't change lives. I thought that. The first 10 years of my career, I was exhausted. I thought I was responsible for my audience. I thought I had to reach into their lives and, change them. You know the change look? It's like, come to me, audience. I will change you. I've seen you guys do it here. It's and you have that attitude that you change people. That's your ego. You don't change people. You influence change. You create examples of what life would look like if you were to change. But in the end, your audience is responsible, and they have to do the work, and you do not have to carry the burden of your audience. You can be passionate. You can love them. You can bring your heart. I bring my heart every time I get on stage. I have gone through so much in my life, and I bring it with total vulnerability when I get on stage, 100% every time. And I'm here today to tell you that at some point the audience has to do their work. Relax, speakers. You do not need to change people. Just bring the information and be authentic. Because here's what you don't know. It's another bubble I have to burst, which is the audience isn't there for you. There's some speakers that's like, wait, no, you shouldn't see my brochure. They are. I'm sure of it. I have a great PowerPoint. They are. No, they're not there for you. They're there for them. They have problems. They have pain. You know what I do every time I give a speech? I am in my shower a few hours earlier, and I just lean into the hot water, and I just visualize all the people, all the souls in my audience, and the divorces they may be going through, the bankruptcies, the children are sick, they're going through sicknesses themselves. I just think about all the things that are going on, and I send my audience love before I ever get up on stage. And I send myself the love, too. I want you to know, thank you. I want you to know we are a droplet in a giant ocean of existence. And I think it's great to build your personas. I think it's great to have incredible careers and make millions of dollars and impact millions of lives. But at the end of the day, are you happy? Because who you are off stage leaks on stage. It shows up. And I want you to know, lastly, is that when we are at NSA here together, let's get rid of the fame stare. The fame stare is when we're talking to somebody, but we're looking around for somebody more important to network with. When you're looking at somebody, look at them, talk to them. When you're done talking to them, say goodbye before you say, oh, Nito, oh, Jack Canfield, oh, so-and-so speaker. Please, I have been around these halls before. I know that these first-timers, they're in this world like, what do I do? What do I do? And if you break that connection with them, you send them off scared. You send them off confused. This is a warm place. Let's build the warmth. Let's build the love. So there I am, South Lawn. The guards are barreling down on me. The President of the United States steps out of the helicopter, and he looks at me, and he says, Sean, good to see you, buddy. Sean, would you like me to push you into the White House today? Mr. President, that would be an honor. Now the President of the United States is wheeling me back to the White House. Now this whole time, what I didn't tell you is that my superior at the White House was in the window, banging on the window, Sean, no! The whole time. And I said, Mr. President, that's my boss. And he went, Sean, hey, buddy, hey. And as if by magic, the President of the United States is wheeling me towards the South Lawn. The doors open up, and I hear ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.